Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to your afternoon broadcast and newscast right here on WRMK News 12. We have a jam-packed afternoon newscast to get to, so let's get started right now. I'm Riley King, and let's begin. First up, jury selection scheduled for Monday in trial of Pelham church shooting suspect. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9. Whoops, sorry about that. There we go.
The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
MB Tractor and Equipment, where best meets second to none. MB.
Dale Holloway is facing several charges, the most serious of which is attempted murder. Back in October of 2019, officials say he entered the New England Pentecostal Church in Pelham as a wedding was taking place and opened fire. Both the bishop and the bride were wounded. The groom was the father of Brandon Castiglione, who's since been convicted of killing Holloway's stepfather, Luis Garcia. Garcia was shot 12 days before the shooting at the church. Although Garcia died back in 2019, Holloway says there is video evidence from his stepfather he intends to use. There is also some video from Tupac Shakur, according to Holloway, although what connection the deceased rapper has to the case is unclear. Holloway has said he intends to argue that he is not guilty by reason of insanity. Towards that end, he has listed his mother as a potential witness to testify about his being abused as a youth and his mental state. The state's witness list includes Bishop Stanley Choate, who was allegedly shot by Holloway, the bride, Claire McMullen, who was wounded in the arm, and the groom, Mark Castiglione, who was hit by an object in the head, are also on the witness list for the state. There are 20 members of various law enforcement agencies listed, in addition to 2 members of the state lab. Then there is a forensic psychologist who will apparently testify about Holloway's mental competency. Now, Holloway is representing himself in this case, although he does have an attorney to assist him. While jury selection is set for Monday morning, in the afternoon, Holloway will conduct a deposition. The trial scheduled to get underway Tuesday morning, expected to take about 8 days. Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Judge dismisses candidate's lawsuit to keep Trump off New Hampshire primary ballot. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9.
The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
MB Tractor and Equipment, where best meets second to none. MB.
This case needs to be heard on the merits.
John Anthony Castro is a GOP hopeful from Texas. He wants former President Donald Trump off the primary ballot and has filed 27 federal lawsuits, including here in New Hampshire, to do so.
And the question is whether Donald J. Trump provided aid and comfort to an insurrection, which we all know that he did, and the exact process to disqualify him from being on the ballot.
Castro argues that the insurrection clause of the 14th Amendment should block the former president from running again. And because he shouldn't be on the ballot, he's taking votes away from Castro.
Basically a reduction in votes. I lose votes. And that may be 5 votes, that may be 5,000 votes. We're not really sure.
Our position is that even if the court were to do what he is asking them to do and strike President Trump from the ballot, it's not going to have any effect on his campaign at all because there are other candidates that votes would go to.
Trump's lawyers looked at the credibility of Castro as a candidate. They point to his campaign, saying he has no offices, employees, or political ads here in New Hampshire or anywhere in the country, and that even if Trump's name isn't on the ballot in New Hampshire, voters will pick another candidate that is active in the state.
The New Hampshire primary is important. The New Hampshire voters get a full choice to vote for whoever they want to choose, and hopefully the courts will stay out of the business of limiting who New Hampshire voters get to choose from.
And the lawsuit looks to stop the Secretary of State from accepting Mr. Trump's filings, but the state's lawyer says there's no evidence that it will have any impact on Castro's candidacy either. The judge says he'll issue his order next week. We're live in Portsmouth. Kelly O'Brien, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Lewiston schools. An update on those.
Pancake party?
Make sleepovers crust easy.
These are the faces of determination.
Monday, in the wake of the mass shootings in Lewiston, many schools around the state closed but will reopen today. It's one of the first steps in the healing process, as many schools are offering counseling for students. The Lewiston School Department, their staff will come back today. The superintendent announced a plan spanning a few weeks to get things back to normal. According to the plan, students will transition back to their regular schedules starting tomorrow. Surrounding communities are getting back to the classroom today. There is a full list of closings and delays on our website.
There are still a lot of
Okay, and there you go. So the schools are slowly transitioning back, as you can see there. First Shake Shack location in New Hampshire opens today. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9.
New Hampshire's first ever Shake Shack is opening today. The new location is at the Tuscan Village in Salem. It will be open 7 days a week. Today, Shake Shack says $1 from every burger sold will go to the nonprofit court-appointed Special Advocates of New Hampshire.
Okay, and there you go. Sounds cool. Hopefully I can try it soon. Suspect of Maine mass shooting found dead. Let's take a listen to that report from ABC News.
Now to the Maine mass shooting investigation. Police say the suspect was found dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And we're learning this morning that there were more warnings he might be a threat. Trevor Alt is in Maine with the very latest. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Lindsay. There were potentially several red flags leading up to this shooting, and over the weekend, after 2 full days of shelter-in-place orders, these heartbroken residents were finally able to embrace each other.
This morning, the people of Lewiston, Maine, in mourning but finally reunited, holding multiple heartfelt vigils over the weekend after 48 hours sheltering in place, waiting for authorities to find the suspect who killed 18 people.
In one way or another, we all know of or know one of the people that was really affected by this.
Thousands gathered with hugs, tears, and a shoulder to lean on after their tight-knit town was torn apart.
Just because something happens to change it doesn't mean that it cannot survive and become better.
Investigators discovered the body of Robert Card late Friday, having died of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. We're now learning more about the warning signs and possible missed red flags that led up to the massacre. Last month, the Maine sheriff reportedly sent an alert to all law enforcement agencies in the state after sources say the suspect threatened an Army Reserve Center. Overnight, the Lewiston police chief telling ABC News his department never received any notice.
This just came to my knowledge today that that there was supposedly some reports made. It is concerning to me.
And Lewiston City Council President and gun shop owner Rick LaChapelle says in August the alleged shooter was turned away from buying a silencer for a rifle after he checked yes on his application when asked whether he'd been committed to a mental institution.
We did what we were supposed to do and hopefully saved a lot of lives.
And while he was denied that silencer, authorities say there's no evidence this suspect was forcibly admitted to a mental institution, meaning it would not have pinged on a background check and it wouldn't have prevented him from buying guns. George?
Trevor Alt, thanks.
Well, hey there, GMA fan.
Okay, and there you go on that report. And that does it for your Monday afternoon edition of your afternoon newscast right here on WRMK News 12. Thank you for watching and enjoying, and we'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Enjoy your afternoon, everyone, and goodbye.